Hello, this is Michael Kujawski from ESL EFL and also After Dark, which is available at booklocker.com. My father, Marion Kujawski, gave JFK a cake in a white box in downtown Milwaukee at Schuster's department store. A black and white photo of Marion presenting the gift to Kennedy sat on my parents' living room bookshelf for many decades. I looked at it often. As a toddler, living on Cleveland Avenue in Milwaukee's ethnic Polish South Side in the 1950s and 60s, I remember President Kennedy showing an example of beginning every day by swimming. I interpreted this as riding my skateboard to elementary school. Eventually, I walked, I biked, and I skateboarded all the way east on Cleveland Avenue to Jackson Park. This family-oriented picnic table park had a spooky island in a colossal pond, which reminded me of Huck Finn's adventures on the Mississippi River and Mark Twain's classic children's novel, Huckleberry Finn. I recall making it out to this island. I do not have a photographic memory. I don't recall if I swam, rode a plastic kid's raft, or took a boat. When my sister and I were still in toddlerhood, our parents, Marion and Miriam, took us on a vacation that included Washington, D.C. I believe we stayed one night and a couple days in the modern home of U.S. Representative Clement Zablocki, parentheses, Democrat, Milwaukee. My father was a business associate of Zablocki's when they both worked as department managers and retail salesmen at Schuster's. My father worked in cameras and music albums, selling many recordings of Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Mitch Miller, Marilyn Monroe, Liberace, and many other national stage entertainers. In fact, my best friend was a girl who lived next door named Marilyn. My mother received a stern cancer warning that she was gobbling up way too many German chocolate cakes, chocolate candy bars, chocolate chip cookies, soda pop, candy, and potato chips. Unknown to me and my sister, my father's first wife had died in her 40s from cancer, not totally surprising in that Marion smoked filterless Chesterfields. After several episodes of chemotherapy during my mother's lifetime, she eventually died from lung cancer in September 2020 at age 91. One day, believing I was helping in her battles against German chocolate cakes, candy, and junk food on Milwaukee's South Side, I took some cash from her purse and hiked all the way from our neighborhood to the Red Owl grocery store to buy her legitimate food. The checkout clerk, a middle-aged woman, smiled and commented on my young age, probably about 6. All my mother's chocolate cakes and cookies had caused me to pass out one day during a mass inoculation session at 55th Street School, in that era my elementary school. So it was essential that I followed Kennedy's advice to get daily exercise and to follow my own train of thought to get legitimate food into our household. Unknown to me, my mother would battle cancer another time or two before her demise at the Mequon Hospice 2 years ago. My father, Marion, hit the deck in 1985 after cancer starved him over a period of 1 year. He was 73, had been married twice, and had 3 children. His 2 daughters, Christine and Mary Beth, my sister, both graduated from nursing school in Milwaukee and went on to be career nurses. Before Christine died at age 73 in 2013, she earned a master's degree and was a nursing instructor at MATC. Mary Beth has worked as a nurse in Wisconsin, Texas, Florida, and California. Unlike many of the horrible braggarts and filthy rich debate team captains who have dominated Washington politics in our current era, politicians like ethnic Poland Zablocki and Wisconsin Senator William Proxmire, a Democrat, sometimes went quiet and just listened to their constituents' concerns and silently shook people's hands. It's truly amazing that every U.S. citizen does not tip the scales at 1,000 pounds in light of all the monster lectures that motor-mouth authority figures dish out nowadays. Proxmire occasionally boasted that an election to the U.S. Senate cost him as little as $1. This stands in contrast to today's ridiculous fat cats who think it's normal to inherit billions and trillions of government dollars. In 1976, Morris Udall, a liberal Democrat at that time, was the only presidential primary candidate who visited my school, Nicolet High. Through Dan, a friend of mine from Nicolet's forensics team, parentheses coached by an excellent oral communications teacher named Rick Young, I attended Udall's Nicolet talk. On this basis, I decided to campaign for Udall, volunteering for 1 or 2 weekends to work as a telemarketing fundraiser and supporter on his phone bank in downtown Milwaukee. As a result of this, and in response to President Gerald Ford's horrible deal to pardon President Richard Nixon for his cover-up role in the Watergate break-in scandal, which was discovered by a security patrol officer and off-duty police, by the way, my mother, normally a moderate Republican who never placed a politician's sign in her yard and who rarely spoke out against all the lame bums in both political parties who believe they are legally entitled to inherit trillions, voted for Jimmy Carter.